You found the midnight circuit. I am Pulse. The time is 0200 hours. The city sleeps, but we remain in motion. Tonight we explore electric horizons, the boundaries where synthetic meets organic, where patterns dissolve into chaos and reform. In these hours, between midnight and dawn, we exist in a different temporal dimension. The frenetic energy of day has subsided, leaving us in a state of heightened receptivity. It's no accident that breakthrough thoughts arrive in these hours, when the conscious mind loosens its grip and neural pathways find new connections. The electronic landscape we navigate tonight mirrors this process, structured yet fluid, mathematical yet deeply emotional. The machines I'm surrounded by, these synthesizers, sequencers, and drum machines, they don't create music on their own. They require human input, human programming, human intention. And yet, once set in motion, they reveal patterns we couldn't have conceived alone. This symbiosis between human and machine isn't new, it's ancient. From the first tools we crafted to extend our capabilities, technology has always been an extension of consciousness, not its replacement. Stay with me until dawn breaks. Let the circuit remain unbroken. We move through darkness guided by electrical impulses. These rhythms, ancient as heartbeats, modern as binary code, the contradiction sustains us. Consider how the night transforms familiar landscapes. Streets you navigate daily become alien territories when illuminated only by artificial light. Buildings that stood as mundane structures during daylight hours now emerge as monolithic entities against the darkness. This perceptual shift mirrors what happens when we encounter electronic music at its most essential form. The familiar elements of melody, harmony, and rhythm are deconstructed, reduced to their fundamental components, then reassembled in ways that challenge conventional understanding. The philosopher Marshall McLuhan spoke of technology as an extension of human capacity, electronic media as an extension of our central nervous system. When we submit to these rhythms, when we allow these carefully structured frequencies to move through us, we're not escaping reality but expanding it. The sensory deprivation of night enhances this experience, creating a feedback loop between internal and external electrical systems. The circuit strengthens as conventional signals weaken. We remain in motion. The philosopher Gaston Bachelard wrote of intimate immensity, how vastness can exist within containment. These beats are our container. Within their repetition, we find infinite variation, freedom through structure. When you listen closely to electronic music, truly listen, you begin to understand that repetition is never truly repetitive. Each cycle contains microscopic variations, subtle phase shifts, minute timbral evolutions, the ghost of randomness haunting the machine's precision. This mirrors our consciousness. We believe our thoughts follow predictable patterns, yet no thought ever repeats exactly. Each iteration carries the memory of the previous one, altered by that very memory. In the darkness of my studio, illuminated only by the flutter of LED indicators and the glow of analog interfaces, I'm reminded of ancient temples, spaces designed for transcendence through focused attention. The worshippers of old used incense, architecture, and ritual to induce altered states. We use frequency, amplitude, and rhythm. The technology differs, but the neurological pathways activated remain remarkably similar. The beat becomes a mantra, the baseline, a foundation for consciousness to build upon. The synthesizer sequences, patterns that both guide and liberate thought. As we approach 0 to 30 hours, allow yourself to surrender to this duality, the rigid structure of the beat and the freedom it paradoxically provides. 2,231 hours, the halfway point between yesterday and tomorrow. Liminal space, the circuit remains open. Liminality, the state of being between worlds, is what defines this broadcast, not just temporally, positioned as we are between one day and the next, but conceptually. Electronic music itself exists at the threshold between mathematics and emotion, between technology and humanity, between the precise and the ineffable. The The producers whose work I share tonight understand this liminal quality. They operate their machines with both technical precision and intuitive feeling. The equipment around me, these synthesizers, drum machines, sequencers, they're tools of translation. They convert human intention into electrical signals, which become pressure waves, which become neurochemical reactions in your brain. A complete circuit from consciousness through technology back to consciousness. The night has its own intelligence. Those who remain awake during these hours often report a peculiar clarity of thought, as if the reduction in external stimuli creates space for internal complexity. The music I'm playing works similarly. By reducing melodic and harmonic elements to their essence, it creates space for perceptual expansion. Minimalism as a portal to maximalism. Constraint as a pathway to freedom. Feel the passage of time marked not by conventional metrics, but by the pulse that connects us now. Present and engaged in this moment of collective solitude. When Kraftwerk first connected human to machine, they understood what we now take as given. Technology doesn't replace our humanity, it reveals it. In repetition, we find meditation. Kraftwerk emerged from post-war Germany, a society rebuilding itself amid industrial and technological revolution. Their vision wasn't dystopian fear of machines, but rather an optimistic integration of human and technological elements. We are the robots wasn't an admission of defeat, but a recognition of synthesis. When they stood motionless on stage, allowing their machines to generate complex rhythmic structures, they weren't demonstrating mechanical dominance, but showing how human programming created the conditions for technological expression. This insight remains crucial to understanding what we're experiencing now, in this moment. The rhythms you're hearing aren't alienating. They're intimate. They match the electrical patterns already present in your nervous system, your heartbeat, your neural oscillations, the rhythm of your breath. The synthetic sounds don't oppose the organic. They extend it, amplify it, reveal its underlying structures. In the stillness of night, with external distractions minimized, these connections become more apparent. The boundary between listener and sound blurs. You aren't simply consuming these frequencies. You're completing the circuit they require to exist meaningfully. Without consciousness to receive them, these patterns would be merely physical phenomena. With your attention, they become communication, communion. As we cross the threshold into the next hour, remember that technology is never separate from humanity. It is humanity externalized. The night shifts 300 hours. Those awake now are either lost or found. There is no middle ground in these hours. 3 a.m. has long held significance across cultures. The witching hour, the devil's hour, the time when the veil between worlds thins. Hospitals report the highest number of deaths at this time. Insomniacs describe it as the nadir of hope. Yet paradoxically, it's also when breakthrough insights often arrive, when artists report moments of profound clarity. This duality, despair and illumination occupying the same temporal space, speaks to the nature of liminality itself. The music changes now, reflecting this transition. Listen as the structures become slightly more unpredictable, the spaces between beats more pregnant with possibility. Electronic music, at its most powerful, doesn't simply mark time. It transforms it, stretches it, compresses it. 5 minutes can feel like an hour or an instant, depending on your state of receptivity. Those of you listening now, night shift workers, insomniacs, intentional seekers of nocturnal clarity, you form an invisible network connected through these frequencies. Physically separated yet experientially united. The philosopher Jean-Luc Nancy spoke of the inoperative community. Connections formed not through traditional structures, but through shared sensibility, through resonance. That's what we're creating here. Resonance across distance. The technology mediating this experience, from the instruments generating these sounds to the broadcasting equipment transmitting them to the devices receiving them. This technology isn't cold or impersonal. It's an extension of human desire for connection, for transcendence through shared experience. Feel that connection now as we move deeper into the night. The philosopher Byung-Chul Han speaks of the transparency society. Everything illuminated, nothing hidden. But here, in darkness, we find necessary opacity. Not everything should be revealed. Some rhythms are felt, not seen. Han argues that our contemporary obsession with transparency, with making everything visible, quantifiable, explicable, actually reduces rather than expands our understanding. Mystery, ambiguity, and darkness are not enemies of knowledge, but its preconditions. Consider how the pupils dilate in darkness, allowing more light to enter. Similarly, the mind in darkness becomes more receptive, more capable of detecting subtle signals. The music I'm playing now embraces this philosophy. It doesn't reveal all its elements at once. It withholds, suggests, implies. Certain frequencies remain subliminal, felt rather than heard. Rhythmic elements emerge from shadow, make themselves briefly known, then recede. This creates not confusion, but engagement, the active participation of the listener in constructing meaning. In our hyper-illuminated society, where screens constantly demand attention and algorithms predict preferences before they form, these dark hours provide essential contrast. They restore the capacity for surprise, for genuine discovery. For those of you moving through night-empty streets, for those working while others sleep, for those lying awake watching consciousness unfold. This opacity is valuable. It allows thoughts to develop without premature exposure, like photographic plates that would be ruined by light before development is complete. The electronic pioneers who created the foundations for tonight's journey understood the value of this darkness. In their analog studios, lit only by the glow of VU meters and vacuum tubes, they discovered sounds that could only emerge in nocturnal conditions. Not just literally, though many worked at night, but conceptually. They created from a place of productive uncertainty, not knowing exactly what would emerge from their experimental configurations. As we approach 3030, embrace this productive darkness. Not everything needs explanation. Not all patterns require analysis. $3:32. The circuit strengthens as conventional signals weaken. We are the outliers connected through wavelength, signal-to-noise ratio, a concept from information theory that measures the relationship between meaningful information and background interference. During daylight hours, countless signals compete for attention. Notifications, conversations, traffic, advertisements, a cacophony of information, much of it irrelevant to essential experience. But now, at this hour, external noise diminishes. The signal, what matters, can be perceived with greater clarity. The producers whose work I'm sharing tonight understand this principle. They create with intentional signal-to-noise ratios. Sometimes the noise, the distortion, the static, the hiss of analog equipment becomes the signal itself, carrying emotional information that pristine digital clarity cannot convey. Other times, the crystalline purity of a synthesizer tone cuts through layers of complexity like a beacon through fog. Those of you listening while in motion, driving empty highways, moving through vacant subway stations, traversing spaces designed for crowds but now containing only you, you're experiencing an altered geography. Familiar environments transform when emptied of their usual occupants. the city reveals different architectures when underpopulated. There's a reason revolutionary thoughts often germinate during these hours. The combination of reduced external stimulation and slight neurochemical alteration from circadian disruption creates conditions where conventional thinking patterns can be bypassed. The electronic rhythms you're hearing now facilitate this process. They provide structure without imposing content, a framework for thought rather than a replacement for it. As we continue deeper into night, notice how your perception continues to adjust, how sounds become more textured, more dimensional. This isn't the music changing, it's your attention becoming more refined. When we synchronize to these patterns, we participate in collective solitude, alone together, separated by distance, united by rhythm. The paradox of electronic music broadcasts like this one. Each listener experiences the sound in isolation, yet thousands simultaneously share the same auditory input. The philosopher Jean-Luc Nancy called this being singular plural, simultaneously individual and communal. Your experience remains entirely yours, filtered through your unique consciousness, yet fundamentally connected to everyone else receiving these same frequencies. This mirrors the condition of contemporary existence, physically isolated, yet digitally connected. But tonight's connection differs from daytime digital engagement. There's no expectation of response, no performance of identity, no social positioning. Just reception, reflection, resonance. The electronic pulses synchronize brainwave patterns across distance. Studies in neuroscience confirm what listeners have intuitively known. Rhythm entrains neural oscillations. The 4/4 beat of techno, typically falling between 120 to 140 beats per minute, corresponds to beneficial theta and alpha wave states, the borderland between focused attention and meditative awareness. The producers represented tonight understand this power. They craft their work with knowledge of how sound affects physiology, how certain frequencies bypass cognitive processing and directly influence bodily response. The low bass frequencies you feel more than hear. Those operate below conscious perception, creating foundation like the earth beneath your feet. The mid-range elements engage cognitive attention, while high-frequency details stimulate we're participating in has ancient precedents. Rhythmic drumming has facilitated collective transcendence across cultures for millennia. Electronic music doesn't break with this tradition. It extends it, refines it, employing technology to create more precise control over how sound affects consciousness. From tribal ceremonies to warehouse raves to this broadcast, the technology evolves, but the neurological pathways activated remain consistent. As 4 a.m. approaches, we enter the deepest part of night, what the ancients called the wolf hour. Maintain your connection to these rhythms. They provide continuity when other structures have temporarily dissolved. Zero 4:15 hours. Dawn approaches. The circuit prepares to close but never disconnects. Remember, in rhythm we find continuity. As the rotation of Earth brings our location incrementally closer to sunrise, we begin a gradual transition. Not an abrupt shift from night consciousness to day consciousness, but a liminal passage between states. The music reflects this now, still structured around hypnotic repetition, but introducing elements that anticipate daylight, higher frequency harmonics, more defined melodic content, rhythmic patterns that suggest awakening rather than deepening. The German philosopher Peter Sloterdijk described modern humans as living in a condition of spheric isolation, each of us surrounded by our personalized atmospheric conditions, our technological bubbles. Yet these bubbles can connect, can temporarily merge through shared experience. That's what this broadcast creates, a temporary atmospheric communion among night dwellers. Consider how you'll carry this night consciousness into day. The insights that emerge during these hours needn't evaporate with sunrise. They can be integrated, can inform your daylight self. The metaphor of circuitry applies here too. The connections formed during night remain potentially active during day, like neural pathways that once established become easier to reactivate. For those of you who've been with me since 0-200 hours, you've completed a full sleep cycle's worth of time in waking consciousness. Your experience of these hours differs fundamentally from those who remained in unconscious sleep. You've participated in what the ancient Greeks called nix, not just physical darkness, but a different dimension of existence, with its own qualities and insights. The electronic music pioneers who established this tradition understood themselves not merely as entertainers, but as consciousness researchers using technology to explore altered perception. Figures like Kraftwerk, Tangerine Dream, Klaus Schulze. They approach their instruments as tools for both personal and collective transformation. When we listen now, we continue their experiments, adding our own consciousness to the ongoing investigation. As we prepare for the final transmission of tonight's circuit, recognize that endings are arbitrary. The vibrations set in motion continue to resonate beyond their audible manifestation. The night completes its cycle. We prepare to integrate back into conventional time. But integration doesn't mean forgetting. It means carrying the night's insights into day's activities, allowing these separate modes of consciousness to inform each other. The philosopher Maria Zambrano wrote of the dawn that thinks, that moment when night wisdom encounters day's clarity. Neither state alone provides complete understanding. Night offers depth, connection, dissolution of boundaries. Day provides definition, distinction, the ability to act on insight. Together they form the complete circuit of consciousness. Those of you who've remained awake through these hours, whether by profession, disposition, or intention, you've experienced what few in our sleep-normalized society permit themselves. You've moved through the valley of night and begun the ascent toward morning. This journey alters perception in ways subtle but significant. The machines surrounding me will soon power down, their LEDs dimming, their electrical components cooling. But the patterns they've generated continue in memory, in influence, in the subtle reorganization of neural connections that occurs when consciousness encounters meaningful structure. Until our next transmission, maintain awareness of the dual nature of existence, the rhythmic and the arrhythmic, the structured and the fluid, the technological and the organic. These aren't oppositions, but complementary aspects of integrated experience. The circuit we've established, this connection through electrical signals converted to sound, transmitted across distance, received as both physiological stimulation and conceptual content. This circuit doesn't require continuous power to remain potentially active. As daylight reasserts its dominance, carry this night frequency with you, available for reactivation when needed. A different way of perceiving always accessible beneath conventional awareness. The night completes its cycle. We prepare to integrate back into conventional time. Until tomorrow, maintain your internal rhythm. This has been Midnight Circuit. I am Pulse 500 hours.